Hi there, welcome to Elm Colors. I'm Erica. On today's video, this is going to be part one of our color along in Colormorphia. I put a couple polls out there and you all voted, and Kerby Rosanes was the artist that won, and then this book is the one that won, and then the image that we're going to be working on, I have to find it, there it is the Pharaoh. That's the one that won out of all the voting. So I do have a kind of an idea page that I put together. I went on Pinterest and found a few different images that I thought were interesting. This one really caught my eye. It's not quite the same gold that I don't think I'm going to go for, but I really liked the colors, and so I found this color palette that kind of matched that pretty well. I don't think I'll do the bright blue. I'm going to do like a more muted tones, I think. But first today, I think we're going to do the background. And I really liked these tan colors in the background, and to make this go a little bit quicker than what it would normally do, I am going to use some Neo Color 2s from Caran d'Ache. I'm going to be using orangish yellow, ochre, and russet. And then I will also be throwing in some white here and there just to lighten different areas. You can also get this a similar effect with watercolor pencils, or really any watercolors would work too. And I will probably have an image posted of the color palette that I have chosen, and this little sheet. I'm going to put that up on screen too, so you guys can see kind of where my inspiration is coming from. So we're just going to get started, and I'm going to start with my orangish yellow. So if you have a watercolor pencil or a watercolor, you're going to start with that light color first, and I'm just going to randomly put this around my page. I am going to leave white spaces for me to blend these colors into, and that will just kind of help add to the faded look of the page. And so I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'll speed this up a little bit for you guys so you can see where I put all the color, and then talk to you a minute after I activate all of the color. Okay, I have my two water brushes. This one is a really fine point tip. This is from Pentel. It's a Pentel Aquash brush, and I will link this in the description below because it's my favorite one that I have. And then this is just like a generic random one, but it's got a little bit of a bigger brush so that I can get this stuff activated way quicker. So you can see that the page looks kind of like a mess right now. And it still might look pretty messy after the first layer of color. But then I will probably end up having to go back again and add a second layer of color. And that's just typically how these things work. It works similarly with any water mediums that you have. Layers really help. They help build up the color, and they help kind of get rid of any weird lines that are left over, like harsh water lines or things like that. So Okay, I'm gonna get ready. I'm gonna get started activating, and I will let you guys see that as well. Okay, so this is what it looks like after the first layer, and these are the colors again that I used. This side still kind of wet, but this side is pretty dry, so I can go ahead and come in and add more colors on top. Now, you might notice, first of all, this paper is much nicer to work on with wet mediums than the other Kerby books are. So if you are following along in the Imagimorphia, you're going to need to be very careful about how much water you put on your pages. It could possibly bleed through. Right now, yeah, see the paper in this Colormorphia book is phenomenal. So we're not going to have any worries about that. What you might notice, however, depending on how hard you push with your Neo colors and or your other materials, you might get lines that show up. So you can see there's some lines going this way and some lines that are going up and down. Now, like I said, the best way to get rid of those is to layer. So anywhere that a little bit of darker color is showing through with some lines, I'm going to take my paper towel, my big water brush. Actually, I wonder if I have. Sometimes it helps if you have one that has a messy. Yeah, I don't know if you guys will be able to see that. If you can see the end of that brush, it's all crazy. This one might actually work out better for us. I'm just trying to make sure that it's got the water going. And I'm going to pull color right off the end of the Neo color. I'll dab it off just a little bit. And then I'm just going to go right over top of where those lines are and use a circular motion to try to blend the color out a little bit. And you just want to move pretty quickly so the water doesn't have too much time, or the color doesn't have too much time to soak into the page. You want to spread it around. You want it to kind of be organic, so you don't want anything that's like a perfect shape. You want things to be varied. Okay, there's that one. I'm going to work on this right here. This one doesn't have a ton of this color, but I'm going to get some more in there anyway. This one will be very light and won't need a ton. And sometimes you'll see me using like this pouncing motion, and that just helps me move the colors around a little bit more. Okay, our next spot that I really see is right in here with this dark color. So we're going to come in here right where that harsh line was. Add a little bit of color. Try to blend it out. So yeah, so I'm just going to keep continuing to add another layer like that all the way around the page with this color and with the ochre color. And then I think we'll be ready to work on the next part. Okay, I am going to add in one more part, or one more color. Well, it's the same color, but it's this orangish yellow again. And these spots that are really light, I am going to add it just around the edges so it doesn't look quite so white. Just pounce that in so it's barely color at all. But I want it to be kind of not like a big white hole in the middle of the page. Just have that color kind of fade in. And then this up in this corner, I think I want to add in a little bit more of the ochre. Okay. Maybe a little bit more of that orange color up there too. Let me try a little bit over here. This is a pretty light color to begin with, unless you like color super hard with it. So it's just barely adding a little bit in there, but it's enough, I think. All right, I still have a little spot right here. I'm gonna make sure that I'm not bleeding through my page. No, this paper is awesome. This paper is fantastic, so I don't really have to worry about that. So typically when I would do this technique on a regular Kerby page, I would definitely wait until it's completely dried before I put my next layer on. But I don't know that I need to do that with this one. Okay, so I think that looks pretty good. All right, so let me get my caps all back on my stuff and I'll be right back with you. Okay, I think the next thing that I want to do is I'm gonna add in a little bit of a shiny gold, I believe, watercolor here. Now you can use any shiny gold watercolors that you have. They should all work similarly. I do need to find which color I want though. So let me test those out really quick. Hang on. Okay, I'm gonna try a technique that is a little iffy. And if you don't want to do this on your page, I totally understand. But I'm going to take these metallic watercolors and I'm going to kind of do droplets around the page. The first thing I'm going to do though is I'm going to cover up my Pharaoh as much as possible. I need a bit better piece of cardstock. Where's all my paper? So I'm going to cover him up for the most part, and then that way I'll just kind of get it around the outside edges, and I don't I already have colored this page in another book, so I don't mind getting splatters on that. But I've got a gold, a nice gold, and I also have a copper color. And so I just got my watercolors pretty wet, and I'm just kind of sprinkling them around like that. So I just get my brush pretty wet and then mix around in the watercolor that I have at the top here. And I'll show you what the brush looks like so you can see it's covered in all kinds of goodies. So this one doesn't have as much water in it as I would like, so I need to add a little bit more water. Okay, there it goes. And this is not for the faint of heart because you really could completely ruin your page. But I used to do this a lot for my scrapbooking, and I think it adds a fun look. Okay, so I'm gonna clean out my brush really good. I'm gonna let this dry, and then when I come back, you'll be able to see what that looks like all dry and cool. Okay, I'll see you in a second. Okay, so this is what we have so far. I'm hoping that you guys can see, I think it's probably reflecting pretty well, but that nice shiny gold and copper just adds just some fun to the background. The places where I did get it on the images too, like the objects, that'll cover with color pencil, no problem. Okay, so now I would like to do a few of the objects on this side, and then we're going to work our way this way since I'm right-handed, and that way I'm not smearing everything everywhere. I did pull a few Crayola markers that are close to these colors. So I have this light brown. I have like this yellowy gold orange color. I have this brownie orange color. A nice red. And then I have a couple of blue grays. And I didn't want to go too dark with the blues because I will add colored pencil on top of that to shade it a little bit more. But the dark I was okay with because it's going to be, again, I'm going to shade on top of that. So those are the markers I have. And I'm just going to kind of refer to my inspiration sheet here and just kind of fill in some parts that I know are going to be red, or that I feel like should be red. So to start with, let me do this. I'm going to use this tan color and just color in this whole pyramid. And then depending on, if I want it darker or lighter, I can always come in and use white Posca to make it lighter, or white Crayola pencil, or white Prismacolor pencil to make it lighter. Okay, so there is a lot of this oops, I think I missed a part right here. I did. That's okay, I can go back and fill that in. The smoky stuff, I think I'm going to go with, so there's this white color, but it's not really, it's more of a tan. Trying to decide if I want that to be like a greenish gray, bluish gray. I might do that all in white. Maybe this ribbon stuff could be in that blue color. Yeah, I don't dislike that idea. So actually I'm going to use the lighter gray. So this is like a light bluish gray color. And you can use, unfortunately these Crayola Super Tips don't have color names or numbers so that I could give you so that you would know what colors to use. But if you have any bluish gray pencils or other markers, Tombow markers maybe. Anything in this color family would work, I think. So I'm just gonna color everything except the areas where I know that there's gonna be a lot of highlight. So these areas in the middle, I'm just gonna kind of feather that color in. But anywhere where I know that there's gonna be dark, I'm gonna go ahead and just color the whole thing. I do need to turn this a little bit so that I can get the right angle. I like to use the markers because not only does it make things go a little bit faster, when you go over it with your colored pencils, you don't have to worry as much about like the white of the paper showing through. It's kind of already covered for you. So that's always really helpful to me. Okay. All right, where else? Anywhere else? Right here is some of that. This looks like a tentacle. Oh no, that's the cat's tail. It's like, why is there a tentacle? It's not a tentacle. All right. Again, I'm using that flicking, like a flicking kind of motion just to bring that color into that highlight area. And inevitably, I will miss something with these. As busy as these pages are, I will miss something. I am going to put my backer page back in there. I will miss something, so that's normal. You just have to go back and fill your stuff back in. Okay, let's see here. I do have quite a bit of that gold color sprinkled on this, so I might have to really get in there with my pencil on that one. I know that I said we were going to work this way, but if I'm doing it with marker, it's not such a bad idea to color, because it's not really going to smear, because these markers dry so fast. Okay. And the other nice thing about these markers is that you can be a little bit messy because you'll be going back over it with pencil. So it's not like it's the end of the world if it looks a little bit sloppy. All right, what else do we want to be this brown color? I know these bones and stuff, I want to make like a nice creamy color, which I don't have a marker for that. So I will end up using like the Prismacolor creams and golds and stuff like that. Because there's a skeleton and a couple of like a bone flute and another bone here, that those will all be that same color. Let's see. Maybe, I feel like those guys should be gold as well. Maybe this pottery. You just kind of, I do want to make sure that this color gets kind of worked in here and there. You don't want it all to just be in one section. So I don't want it to just be, okay, that's not bad. I'm going to color this whole thing that color. I'm thinking that I'm going to have this cat be black colors and the dog probably the same. There's another skeleton down here. We've got some bugs on the side. What else could be brown? There's going to be a little bit of brown in the mummy, but I don't want to group all the brown right there. Okay, I'm going to hold off on that one. This orangey color. Let's do some of these. Actually, I'm going to use this red color. And use some of these little, oh wait, so this, it's like this orangey color. No, I want that to be more yellow. See, this is the only bad thing about coloring a Kerby page with you all. I am not very decisive on some of these things. And so it's hard for me to make a decision. Okay, so I have this reference here, and it looks like the underside of this snake is in reds. So we're just gonna do that. Just gonna go ahead and color in that part with reds. And on each side of the snake. Let's see, in here, looks like, so that would be a blue, maybe this one is red. Let's make it red. Okay, that one's red. Then we have a turquoise, a blue, another red. Yeah, let's do this one red too. And then that last one will be blue. And then in between these, I believe, is supposed to be gold. So I'm going to leave a space between these guys. Okay. I think that's going to continue all the way up there, so we're going to do that. Try not to go over the lines like I do. Okay, red. Then that one looks to be blue, and then all of these down here look to be blue as well. Oof, there's a lot in here. I don't think any of the hand. Okay. All right, I am gonna pick out a few elements on these statues down here, on the pot. Maybe this cute little doggy can have a red ribbon. It looks like it probably should be gold collar, but we're gonna do red. Okay. Trying to look at that pot back there, but I don't really know on that guy. So I'm gonna color all these little doodads in. All these little hidden guys. And I am leaving a tiny little highlight on that guy. And then this guy hidden back here. All right, I like that. And then the kitty cat will have gold earring, gold collar, except I think he's gonna have some red, so we're gonna make this part red. These guys red down here. I feel like on the flail. So on this one, it shows that it's like multicolored, then gold, then multicolored. So we might just do our own thing on that, kind of take an idea from the inspiration sheet that I pulled. Okay, I'm gonna color. Coloring in the doggy here. I'm gonna do some dots. I think for the bird or eagle or whatever it is, yeah, I'm gonna do this part red, because I think the majority of those statues are gonna be gold. Okay, and then let's do this section in here. And down there. Okay. Anything else we need to make red? Oh, we need a little bit of red on this pot. So let's do this section right here. And around this way. Yeah, and like I said, try to color in the lines. I am not doing well with that at the moment. Okay, I'm gonna use this orangey gold color to color in this beak of the stork or bird or whatever this is. I feel like that's too dark. I need like a yellow color, so I don't have that color on me. This brown is gonna go down here in the rushes. I might be able to blend that a little bit. Yeah, that doesn't look bad. Since this is nice paper, you can kind of blend the two markers a little, just a little. Got this fish. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna find a yellow color, but this is gonna be with pencil. So I'm gonna have a yellow star. Oh, I have another little hidden guy over there. I'm gonna color him. Yeah. Okay. I think a few of the flowers will be red as well. However, I don't know which ones yet, so we're gonna hold off on that. Now, I know these scarab beetles I think are supposed to be greens, but I don't know if I want to do them in greens or not. So I'm gonna hold off on that. And then this pot in the background is starting to bug me. I think I'm gonna do that like I'm gonna color it this color. I don't really know what's on the pot unless it's just like writing or something. It's kind of what it resembles to me anyway. So I'm just gonna fill in around where I think this stuff is. And a little bit along the edges. I'll come in with a lighter color in the pencil and shade that out. Yeah, I still don't know. Let me go back in and fill in this little area back here, we're going to use some of the ochre. Kind of hard to miss it or to see it when everything's not colored in, but once you start coloring things in, it becomes a little more clear. So yeah, I think all of these areas right through here are all, and I'm going to add just a little bit of this darker brown too. Okay, all right. Well, I think that's going to be it for today. When we come back, we'll do some more work on the doodles, and then I'm probably going to save this guy. This guy's going to be all one video probably. But yeah, I'll show you the, I'm using Prismacolor pencils. So if you want to get your Prismacolors ready for the next video, that way you can do that. And I've got some colors laid out, which I will go over with you in the beginning of the next video. And yeah, we'll go from there. So I hope you liked this so far. If you are coloring along with me, please let me know. Send me a message on Instagram, tag me on Instagram, send me an email. I do have a channel email. It is at elmcolors@gmail.com. And yeah, until next time, guys, thanks so much for watching. I'll see you later. Bye.